Scientific Evidence for God by Bob Dutko, who wrote the top 10 proofs of God. Anyway, intelligent design skeptics may claim there is no evidence of God. The actual scientific evidence for God's existence is overwhelming, scientifically answering the question, does God exist? In science, there is a law of physics and engineering called the first law of thermodynamics. Within it is a conservation of energy law that states, as a key principle, that all energy in a closed system must be conserved. Okay, fancy language, but what does it mean? It means that while energy can convert into matter, physical stuff, and matter into energy, however much total stuff there is, matter plus energy, there can never be an increase in that total or a decrease in that total. So however much total stuff there is in the universe, matter plus energy combined, there can never have been more and never have been less. All it can do is convert to different forms, like matter to energy or energy to matter, but the total amount of all of it has to remain the same. The conversion is governed by E equals mc squared, which you might have heard of somewhere. The closed system is a scientific term that refers to a system or area that has no outside influence, like the universe. Believers would consider the universe an open system, one that does get outside influence from God. But for the atheist who says there is no God, the universe is all there is, so from their perspective, and for the sake of conventional science, the universe would get no outside influence and would therefore be considered a closed system. Back to the first law of thermodynamics. If it states that you can never have an increase or decrease of energy slash matter, which means that matter, energy cannot be created from nothingness, how do we get all the matter and energy in the universe? If science is all there is, and there is no God, then the first law of thermodynamics reigns supreme, and therefore it would be impossible to have matter and energy in existence right now. Simply put, when you open your eyes and see matter and experience energy, what you see is impossible according to the known laws of science, if in fact there is no God. Therefore, science itself says there must be a God. Plain and simple, matter and energy cannot come into existence. It is scientifically impossible. Yet here we see everything around us, so how can that be? There are really only three possibilities. Option A, everything came into existence by itself without the help of God, even though science has proven that impossible. Option B, everything in the universe has always existed for all of eternity, which, by the way, is also scientifically impossible according to something called the second law of thermodynamics, which is basically the natural tendency toward decay and chaos. Or option C, there must be a God, a being greater than science, who created the laws of science and has the ability to disobey them. Not only is a belief in God the only logical conclusion to draw, it's the only one scientifically possible, because remember, if there is no God, the first two options are scientifically impossible according to the actual laws of physics. Believe it or not, a 5-year-old child could be an atheistic scientist's worst nightmare by merely asking him or her, where did everything come from if God didn't make it? What that child is actually asking in scientific terms is, how do we have a violation of the first law of thermodynamics by the creation of energy and matter in the closed system of the universe if there is no creator capable of doing that? Thank you.